Hi, everyone. Welcome to the career webinar. We are so excited to have you here. Please, if you can hear me, just confirm with like an emoji that you can actually hear me. Thank you so much. So while we're waiting for people to join, let's just do a little introduction. You can just type in the chat box your name, where you're joining us from. I'll start. My name is Golie and I'm joining us from Port Harcourt. So we can just introduce ourselves in the chat box while we wait for others to join us. Hi, Blessing. Welcome. Hi, Emmanuel. It's so nice to have you here. Hi, Tejiri. Oh, hi, you're in Port Harcourt as well. Hi, Ola. Hi, Kitan. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining in. Hi, Precious. Welcome. Welcome. So we'll just give like 2-3 minutes for others to join in as well. Then we can start off this session. Welcome, Daniel. It's so nice to have you here. Hi, Farouk. Hi, Fatima. Hi, Ene. Welcome. Hi, Courage. Welcome to our webinar. Okay, so I think we can start with people that we have here, then the rest can just join us so that we don't waste too much of everybody's time. So hi everyone, good evening. My name is Golie and I'm the project lead here at EazyPly, and I'll be your moderator for today's session. So first off, I want to commend every single one of you for showing up today. It says a lot about how intentional you are about your growth and the future you're trying to build. And we're just genuinely excited that we get to be a part of that journey, no matter how small our impact might seem. Our goal for today is pretty simple, right? By the end of this session, we want to make sure that you're walking away with not just information. We're not trying to do any aspire to Maguire thing here, but want you to leave here with a clear, practical approach to how you apply for jobs. So throughout the session, we'll be having a speaker session, a live Q&A, a product demo, and then a few exciting updates from our team here. So to guide us through this conversation, we have an incredible speaker joining us today, Mrs. Yemisi. Mrs. Yemisi is a human resource and business operations consultant, and she has had like years of strong experience helping organizations build their systems and helping them create high-performing teams. And she has worked across several industries. She's worked in fintech, real estate, agriculture, and automotive. So you know that she knows what she's talking about. And she holds an MBA from the Business School in Netherlands and a master's degree in international human resource management. And she's here today to teach us the strategies from the inside mind of a recruiter, given that she's had years of experience in hiring people, building teams. So she's here to teach us what exactly is it that you have to do? How do you position yourself beyond just your qualifications? How are you able to communicate these qualifications when you're applying for a job? So want to welcome Mrs. Yemisi up to talk to us, but please, I'd like us to give her a warm welcome. You can use the fire emoji, you can use any emoji you want, just please welcome her. Mrs. Yemisi, you have the floor. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Gole. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, thank you so much. Hello, it's nice to meet you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this conversation. First of all, I'd like to appreciate the EazyPly team for this invitation, because Gole mentioned something about impact. Honestly, when you look at the rate of unemployment anywhere in the world, typically, and what we're talking about today, you would realize that this is a stepping stone. So for sure, everyone that will be leaving this conversation today would be leaving with insights and practical tools. I mean, that's something that we can really rely on. She also mentioned something about the demo session. Please wait behind. Their demo session is going to skyrocket how you position yourselves for jobs in Nigeria and also outside. So thank you very much, Gole. Please, I'll appreciate if you can just help present my slide. I don't know if that's possible from your end.
Okay, sure. Give me a minute.
All right. So basically, I think this conversation just speaks to how to position yourself for jobs in Nigeria, outside the country. And honestly, for someone, I've been around the space of recruiting for close to a decade, and honestly, and across different sectors. And I can tell you for free that the rate of unemployment, first of all, and the rate at which people change jobs, I mean, typically, I think some weeks ago, one of the top fintech brands in Nigeria just, brought in some initiative around bringing in some internship roles. And in under one day, in under 24 hours, they had over 1,000 applicants for different roles. And I was just smiling because honestly, they probably just have one seat or one person for each of those roles. It makes you realize that for every role that you see available on anywhere, whether in Nigeria or outside the country, there are a million other people that are struggling for that same role, or that are thriving for that same role, or are doing everything. Now, the question is, how are you positioning yourself in such a way that your CV isn't just something that someone just sees, or an ATS tracker just sees? Because these days, I mean, how many, imagine you're a recruiter here, and for that role I just spoke about, you have 300 people applying for that role. Are you going to sit down with those? I mean, life has gone beyond reviewing those CVs one after the other, the ATS trackers and all of that. But how do you position yourself in such a way that it isn't, you aren't just, your CV doesn't just fall in the pool and it's not even moving, it's not even being caught by the lenses of the ATS tracker? It means that there are certain things to do. There's a certain way for you to position yourself. And that's because I say that for someone that recruits, your CV is the first interpretation of yourself. If your CV cannot be arranged well, I highly doubt that you will do anything remarkable on the job. Because if you cannot defend yourself well by what your CV or what your cover letter looks like, there's absolutely, because you are doing this for yourself. I mean, when you come to work, even though you're doing it for yourself, there's a sense that people have that, oh, you are working for an organization. But if something would represent you, let it represent you excellently in such a way that it already speaks. There's this intro that everybody writes around their, at the beginning of the CV, I'm result oriented, I'm excellent driven. Some people write excellent driven, and your CV is looking like something I don't understand. Like, make it make sense. So first of all, there needs to be that balance. And one of the reasons why I say you wait behind for that demo session is because EazyPly has done something mind-blowing, something that is answering a lot of questions in the job market. So I have a quote here that says that International Labour Organization project a global job gap. That says people want to work but cannot access it, of 408 million people by 2026. And honestly, is just very true. An average person is either in between jobs, or is that he or she is in between jobs, or you are working but you're looking at changing that job. I mean, an average person spends, unlike in the times when we had the Gen X and the Gen Y, I mean, people were still very static at jobs. So you'd see that some people stay in jobs for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Yes, that stability is very good. But these days, everybody's looking for what next. I mean, they'll tell you that if you want to triple your, and I mean, these are statistics that are very open and available out there. That if you really want to, if you look at people that change jobs severally, say in the last, say, 8 years, and people that stay in the same job, people that have changed their jobs have earned a lot more than people that have stayed within one job. And that's just the truth, because somewhere there, everybody just wants to change jobs. You just want to experience something different, and our level of satisfaction right now is even a lot lower, because people are just, you spend a year on the job and are wondering, okay, what's happening in the fintech industry, or what's happening in the telecoms industry, or what's happening in this other industry. But how are you positioning yourself in such a way that you aren't just your CV is not just one of those things in the pack, but is really relevant to what is actually applicable in the job market. So I think Guli, they can't see your screen, so I think it would be good that they can also see it, so that they can follow through. So I have some questions here, and I know, and I'm sure that there are questions that are also in your mind as well. There are questions that says, I have skills, so why does my resume disappear the moment I hit submit? I mean, there are people that have a lot of skills, but they submit. Some people can submit 100 applications but don't get any response. Or is the ATS tracking system actually a gatekeeper? Or how do I speak its language without losing my human touch? Recruiters talk about culture fit, but what are they actually looking for when the camera turns on to that first interview? Can a professional based in Lagos or Accra truly compete for or win high-paying roles in London, New York, or Berlin? How do I move from just being under applicants to being obvious solution to a company's biggest problem? I mean, these are questions that are on everybody's mind. I have skills, I'm very good, but I'm not seeing the kind of jobs that can really pay me well for it. Oh, there's this thing called ATH tracker. Is it gatekeeping, or how do I really speak its language such that is able to speak, or is able to pick my CV? So let's just move on to today's discussion. So now this first segment is going to be about what recruiters are truly looking for, because honestly, we think that recruiters only look for even though these things are good. I mean, you have a master's, you have additional certifications, they're very good. But sometimes recruiters are looking beyond what your CV says. They're looking at your personality, because honestly, your personality is what comes to work. So I'm looking at culture fit. How are you able to improve the culture of where you are? What kind of ethics do you even live by, such that you can easily communicate it, and the recruiter looks like, okay, I want this person to work with me? Because sometimes a recruiter would hire somebody with good character and leave somebody with skills. So you have to be someone that has a combination of both, and also knows how to communicate it and truly live those values. So also, we're also looking at agility and learnability. How are you able to pivot? Are you able to learn new skills? Are you able to, I hope you're not someone that, I mean, some people have worked 10 years in one industry and they don't even understand the new technology that is happening out there. They're just very static. So when you come to the interview, okay, some of them don't even know about AI tools, or how are you integrating AI tools to solving the problems that you say is available in the markets that you're coming into. Those are very critical things. Emotional intelligence. We're also looking at how intelligent are you emotionally? Are you someone that is aware of your surroundings? Are you someone that has empathy? Are you someone that is driven by excellence? Because it's not just about I went to a school in UK for my master's degree. How are you able? Because you can have all of that head knowledge, but head knowledge does not keep you in the game. You also need emotional intelligence, ownership mentality. this is something very subtle, and this is something that every employer would appreciate when an employee brings this to the team. How are you able to own projects and not treat it like, oh, it's the company's project. If we lose money, we lose money. Or if there's a loophole, there's a loophole. How are you someone that is looking out for operational excellence in everything that you do? Ownership mentality is very critical, because as someone that comes on any role, you need to own that role. I mean, you need to be someone, for someone like me, many times when I look at my career, trajectory, and I see how that, God has really helped me move across different industries and stuff like that, I realized that I've always done myself a favor, which was something I did not learn. I think I learned it subconsciously, but like they say, life is lived forward, but understood backwards. So when I think some years ago, I started to make a reflection. I realized that I'd always owned roles. I'd always never been someone that will come on a role and I will give you my all, regardless of what you pay me. I'm going to just give you my whole, whether you pay me or not, or even though I feel like, oh, this pay may not be, may not be compared to the input that I bring to the team. Some companies have, may just be growing, but honestly, you do yourself a favor when you have an ownership mentality on every role that you come into. You do yourself a favor because you are learning forward. For every role that you give it your best. Own the roles. Own every project that you come into, and then evidence of impact. Don't just be someone that I'll just come and say, I mean, I see some CV and people just say, oh, I was operations manager on the role. Like, what happened on the role? What was your impact? How are you able to quantify your impact? To say, oh, on this role, I improved operational I improved operational efficiency by so percent, or we reduce gap in sales operation by so percent. They must be measurable. Your impact must not be something vague. Oh, the company improved in sale. What is improved in sale? Oh, sales improved by 20% between 2022 to 2024. That is something measurable. That's something that they can see. So it must be something, it's something that every recruiter is looking for. So when you sit on an interview panel, it's not just about the school you went to. It's not just about the certification that you did. Many of all these things are very critical. And then how you can then position yourself or your resume to get shortlisted. I mean, many things that I've said here is what the we at EazyPly are also going to be communicating with you, because it's very important that as much as we also say it, you also need to understand why this is why we are saying that, oh, there should be an ATS format to how your resume looks like. Do you get? So there's something that's called the above the fold strategy. You put your most impressive achievements, your top of the page. So when you look at your resume, your best achievements, some people will leave sometimes someone is opening your CV, they don't have the time. So it means they see the first few lines and nothing impressive is there. We've moved. Like, we have moved. So you also need to, as much as we're bringing in AI tools to tailor CVs to be ATS compliant, you also need to understand it, such that when you're also communicating in an interview and they're telling you, oh, okay, tell us about your achievements in the last 5 years, you're not starting from the list. You're starting from things that you would say, and the recruiter will look up like, okay, yeah, I need to listen to this person. Because sometimes someone has just been in an interview for, like, say, an hour listening to different people. By the time you are coming, you need to say something that will impress him. So as much as the resume is also saying it, your interview should also replicate that same thing, the above the fold strategy. Results first, your bullet point, okay, responsible for X, you achieve X by doing Y. There should be measurable results. Then you must also be able to tailor your professional summary to reflect the specific problem. So now, every industry or everywhere you work, there's always a problem that you're solving. If where you work, there's no problem that you're solving, there's nothing you're doing, there's nothing driving, you think you should leave. Because there is no industry. There's every organization has its vision, has its mission for the year, have its goals for the year. Then you could work as a customer support person, as a data analyst, as a business analyst, whatever it is. There's something you are doing that is solving that problem. You must be able to put your professional summary in ensuring that it is, it is communicating that solution that you're bringing to that business problem. Then you should always categorize your skills, your technical skills, your leadership skills, and then clean formatting. Like I mentioned, as much as AI tools are going to be doing this, you also need to understand that these things are very important, because I realized that, as much as we bring AI tools are very good. They help us with right presentation, they help us, the job gets done faster. But when you don't understand as an individual, you don't bring the same level of excellence to the game. So your CV can look very good and very tight. You get your interviews, you might have the tips for interviews, but you must be able to imbibe this culture when you eventually come into the business in itself. So how to pass ATS screening. Now the ATS tracker is what it does is that it simply just scans through every CV and picks out keywords. I mean, it's looking out, is that's why they say that you don't use the same CV for applying to multiple roles, because every CV has its own job description, and then those job description is what is dropped on the ATS tracker to say, oh, this is the description of the job that we're looking forward to. Now, look out for people that have this thing. So the system is trained in such a way that it's just reviewing CVs, and it's the people that have those keywords in it that is going to save out. So using the exact phrases in the job description, it usually helps. Standard headings, your work experience, don't just put I've seen all sorts. I mean, you see some CVs sometime and you're wondering, how does this person pass through BSc? Like, how did you pass through university and you have a degree and you submitted this? So it's one of the reasons why you see that there are a lot of upskilling that we're also trying to do for even university graduates, because it's not just, we've really realized that especially in Nigeria, so let me say this very specific to Nigeria, the system of education, the tertiary system, has not been built to make, not every university has been built to make individuals ready for what the job market really is like. So everyone needs to understand many of all these things. So your work experience should be in chronological order, in such a way that your most recent experience is what is coming up first. Don't bring an experience you had in 2002. Bring something that catches somebody attention immediately. So don't say, oh, don't bring some solution you put, because when you talk about a solution you delivered in a business in 2002, it might not be very relevant today, because that industry could have gone beyond what it is. Yeah, it could be great to be put in your CV, but when it comes to talking about what is relevant right now, you have to bring what is most recent. You have to put what is most recent in the game. So always list them in that order. Oh, you worked okay, this 2026, so you worked between January to June of 2024, June of 2024 to May of 2023. So in that order. And then your file should be PDF. I see some people send Word document and I'm like, how do we communicate this? How do we tell people? As in, why will you just submit a Word doc? Some things are unwritten rules, honestly. I mean, there is honestly nowhere that it says, oh, or there was never a day that there was a general memo that stated that, oh, don't submit things in Word document. But PDFs makes things look a lot more precise. They make things look a lot more arranged. So then, yeah, I think we've typically passed through all of the ATS screening pointers. But really, many of all these things I'm saying is what EazyPly has put together. So many of all these things that I'm saying, honestly, by a click of a button, once you sign up, you put in all your details, the system is able to help you design what your CV looks like, design what your cover letter looks like. You also see an array of jobs that you can apply for, automatic application, notification, and all of that. So that's just to tell you to wait behind. So we're able to share all of that for you. Then interview strategies, and that's because this is very important, because the AI can help you with your CV, can help you with your cover letter, but the AI will not help you to attend the interview. you will still be the one to attend the interview. And yes, I understand that we like what the AI is really going to do. But the truth is that if you don't even understand the context of what the AI has done, you can mar. So it means that the power is in your hand to make or mar what the to mar the solution that EazyPly has done. So we are bringing a solution for your CV to look ATS compliance, your cover letters to look ATS compliance. But if you don't understand the amount of work that has gone into that, and also know how to prepare yourself for interview, because these days interview is not just all about tell me your name, tell me where you worked. A lot of times you come into interviews and they're asking questions that are they're asking behavioral questions that speaks to how you would do something. So you hear something like, oh, tell me about a time where you increased sales in any way that you had worked, something like that. Or give me an example of a time where you manage a team of people and there was conflict in the team, and how you know what you do to resolve the issue. Those kind of questions bring you to the moment. It's like you are acting out what you will do. We are bringing is like a contextual and representation of yourself now. So say, okay, if you are in this situation, what will you do? Because sometimes we can't wait for you to come to the job to tell us what you do. So tell us an example. Let us see how well you are framed, how well you are. I can hear some feedback. All right, thank you. So how well you are framed for those kind of situation. So there's a STAR method, that I always talk about. And honestly, the STAR method helps in answering those kind of questions. So it is situation, task, action, result. So the situation, sets the context for your stories. So it describes a specific event or situation you were in, providing enough detail for the interviewer to understand the complexity. Now, what is it easily said is saying, tell me about a time, blah, 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 blah. So you're bringing the situation to a time that happened. Honestly, there may have never been a time that has happened, but you will need to be someone that is prepared. Is the reason why when you're going into interview, you don't just walk into any interview. You need to prepare to say, what is this role really about? What are the challenges in this role? So you need to be someone that has also prepared for the interview for that role. So for instance, you have never come into a managerial role before, do you get? But this role is maybe a sales manager role, but maybe all along you've always been a sales specialist, a sales officer, whatnot. So now you're saying, oh, tell me about the time you manage a group of people. You can honestly tell them that, oh, I've honestly not worked in a management role before, but if I were a manager, or if this had happened before, or this and this and this is what I would have done. Do you get? So you're bringing context to what they're talking about. So you talked about the task. So you explain the goal that you're working on. What was the specific challenge? Do you get? So if it's something that that has now really happened, they're not talking about, oh, what really happened? What was the task? What were you trying to address? So you need to make the interviewer understand the situation, understand the specific challenge and your responsibility. Action now speaks about what you did exactly. So for instance, oh, we were given the goal to increase sales by 20% in the third quarter. All right, thank you. So you are bringing context. You say, okay, so for instance, oh, we're given the goal to increase sales by 20% between the third quarter of the year. The task exactly, what was your responsibility to it? Oh, I was the lead manager. I was the one to draw up strategies. I was the one to draw up timelines, expected deliverables and whatnot. Then what were the actions I did? Oh, we carry out digital campaigns, carry out traditional marketing, went on radio, went on newspaper. You explain all of the actions that you did. So you can now come to results to say, oh, after all of this was done, we're able to achieve, even though we had a goal of 20%, we achieved 17%. We achieved 22%. There needs to be something measurable. You cannot just say, yes, sales increased. Sales increased by what? Because a 1% increase in sales is an increase in sales. But does it quantify to what the expected deliverable is, obviously. So this STAR method just helps you to arrange your thoughts and what you're expected to say. So when you have a situational or a behavioral interview like that, or question like this, you're able to understand the situation, to talk about the task, the action you did, and then the results that followed. All right, so I'll just go on. I'm just trying to speed up because I have 30 minutes for this, and I'm almost done. So I'll just be open for question. So under interview question or strategy, honestly, that always work is reverse interviewing. So there are times where after an interview, you should be able to ask the interviewer a question, because I've come to realize that when you understand the value that you bring to work or the value that you bring to every organization, you realize that at every interview panel, not just you as the interviewee or the person that's been interviewed, you're not the only person that's been interviewed. The company is also being interviewed. I need to understand what does success on this role look like in 6 years, or in 6 months rather, or why is this role vacant? Is this a new role, or has someone been on the role before? Okay, why did the person leave? Or what is the team structure like? Or what are the core values of the organization? Yes, I saw it on your website, but I think I would like to hear what the core values are and how, in practical terms, the organization lives out the core values. Because you're not just there to just work for money. You also understand that you are someone of value. You bring value to the job. You bring value. You bring value to the team, and it means that you're not just someone that just bring or join any organization just for the sake of it is a job. You're also understanding that if I'm going to work for any organization, my name would be here. I need to understand what this organization truly stands for. I need to understand what their core values are. I need to understand what they truly do. So it's not just about what is on their website. Yes, I know a lot of times we'll ask, oh, what do you know about the organization? And you talk about what you learned on the website. Also ask the question, who is a typical person that works in this organization? Do they understand what the core value is? Ask questions that even the person interviewing would really understand, that you're not just coming because, even though yes, you want the money. I mean, who doesn't want the money on the job? But you are also interested in where you work. Show that it brings in some level of, I mean, I enjoy conversations that people ask questions. It makes me very intrigued that yes, I'm not just interviewing someone that is just answering all my questions. Ask me question, engage me. I want to hear the depth of your wisdom. That kind of, I just want to understand that, oh, you're also someone that is thinking very deeply about what or where you're looking forward to working. Then active listening. Summarize the interviewer's question before answering. Honestly, there are times you ask a question and people begin to answer. Sometimes they've gone 2-3 minutes and you're wondering, at what point are you going to answer this question? And by the time they end, you realize that they did not even understand the question in the first place. And this also goes beyond interviews. This also goes even on the job. When your manager comes to say, oh, I want you to do so and so and so and so and so. Summarize what he or she has said and respond back to, okay, do you mean you want us to do this? Because a lot of times I've seen people go on for days on projects, and then by the time the next review comes, they've gone 1 week on something and they've gone tangent away from what the specific communication was because they did not understand. Reverse active listening is very important, and it means that you are able to reverse in your own word and how well you understand what the person just said. So someone asks you a question, okay, this summarize what it is, and okay, no, this is what I mean. It just helps clarify every form of ambiguity. So just be very intentional about that, so that you don't go 2 minutes, 3 minutes answering a question and the person is like, that's not what I was asking you. This is, I mean, sometimes you even tired already, like you've just gone over yourself. So also video presence. If you're looking out for remote roles, say outside, even in Nigeria, for instance, you can be in Lagos and you can get a fully remote role. A lot of times they don't even want to see your face. Many interviews don't even get to the point of a face-to-face until maybe the final interview, and that's when it's probably in your city or something. but a lot of interviews go on remotely now. And that's because you must also understand how to attend interviews. A lot of people come to interviews and you've not even tested your network. You're not even professionally dressed. You don't have good lighting. Some people attend interviews and you can clearly see that they're using their phone, and then the phone is somewhere, is not elevated in the same direction of their face. So yes, I'm using my laptop here, but you can use your phone and then it is standing well. You're using something to support it and is in the same frame as your face. Some people's phone will just be down and they're answering questions like this, or is up and I'm wondering, who is this person that does not understand interview etiquette? Who is this person that does not understand? Like, the people who attend interview, you can clearly see that they're probably in the balcony of their house. Like, what's in the world? And you're hearing one woman in the next compound singing, and what? No matter what your CV would look like, no matter where you went for your master's, your presentation already just shows that you're someone that lacks excellence. As simple as that. No matter what it is. And that's because we can bring a solution. You see, when Willie talked about impact, you see, this solution that we're bringing is very important. It's very great. But you can mark it, because your CV can be ATS compliant. Your cover letter can be sounding as like what the recruiter wants to see. But you can come into the interview and there are times that the first 2 minutes in an interview, I already tell my guys that let's wrap up this interview. They ask, okay, do you have any questions? I don't have any question, because your first 2 minutes, your presentation has killed it. Because I believe that your CV and your interview already sells you as a person. If you cannot put excellence in what your video interview looks like and in what your CV looks like, there's no one. It is highly impossible, or the probability of that possibility is very low that you will come into that work and bring excellence to it. You come into the interview and you just attend the interview anyhow. By the time you are joining already, I already say, I don't want this person. And that's because there are lots of times that I can sit on recruiting for a role for a long period of time. If I'm just and that's because I see a lot of. Sometimes you will see CV. I'll just be when we say there's no work in Nigeria. That statement is very contextual. It is a yes and no thing. Yes, there's the no, but no, their work. Because there are times that you are recruiting for a role, and before you will find a suitable person, you could have done the ATS shortlisting and all of that. By the time someone comes for the interview, I'm like, what's this? Did you just stand up from the bed to just stand up for this interview? Or did you just wake up? So I'm asking, sorry, are you ready for this interview? I mean, there are a couple of people that have had to just tell them, I'm sorry, I can't go ahead with this interview. When you are ready, please come back. And I'm sorry, I may never be ready for your interview, even when you are ready. Because the world there are a lot of people looking for a job. For you to come to interview and looking like something, like someone that needs a lot of help, you need to come ready. Your lighting needs to, if you need to go and rent a workspace, do you guess? There are workspaces that allow sections for interviews. There are people's out there can say, please, I just need 10 minutes for this interview. I just need good lighting, good internet, good, no noise, no distraction, and you come ready. And you dress appropriately. Turn on your camera, your hair is ready, your face is ready. So it's all about, you see that thing that is called first impression. That is what your CV and your interview does for you. And then thank you. Don't just attend interviews. There are a lot of times that, I think last year I started to imbibe this culture of when I interview people, I try to give feedback. You get to say, okay, I enjoyed the interview, but I'm not going to shortlist you on this basis. So I'm trying to tell them, okay, your CV isn't looking great at all. You need to go back to your work, what your CV looks like, or your cover letter needs to look like this. That is just trying to impact people forward. But honestly, add the thank you. Show people that you appreciate them. Even the time that it takes for them to interview. Somewhere there, it is not you see, some things are not, they're not things that are written anywhere. You get, but they're just courtesy. They're just very small. They're just very subtle things to say, oh, thank you very much for your time today. I enjoyed the interview session. I look forward to hearing from you and stuff like that. It just shows that, okay, I like this person. Is very subconscious. Is not anything, but it just it sends a subconscious signal of your personality. There's someone that is just very courteous. So that's something that you can also imbibe. So on my last slide will be positioning for remote and national roles, even though that's what we'll be talking about all along. But I follow Global Temi, and she said something about cross-cultural competence. And this is something that, this also goes beyond industry. Even it is the industry that I spoke about here, but it also speaks to, for instance, you are applying for with an organization that is in India. I think it's just very good that you do a brief research as to what is the culture like in India, and you're able to bring in that flavor like someone that is ready to work with Indians. Or you're someone that works, or maybe you are applying for a job in a multinational, do you get? And maybe the multinational is based in maybe New Zealand. I mean, many of these places have their own culture precisely. You should be able to showcase that competence already from your interview, to say, oh, maybe you even speak the language. I don't know if New Zealand has, I think it's an English speaking country, but it could be, say China, for instance. And you join the interview and you say good morning in China, and in Chinese rather, they already say that, oh, this person is ready for work. I mean, this person is ready to, because you already understand that there's something that's called cultural competence, and it's something that just distinguishes the locals for the international. As simple as that is. If you are someone that wants to work with international brands, you must be someone that is able to adapt to culture. You must be someone that is able to blend in. You must be someone that is not rigid. In my culture, we call, so for instance, yes, I said earlier that I follow Global Temi, and sometime this week she did a video about this, and she was saying how that, in some places that, no, you don't call anybody by Salma. The CEO of the company is Tom, you call him Tom, and you say, no, in my culture we are Yoruba, so we have to even kneel down and bend when we are greeting Uncle Tom. He feels insulted when you call him Uncle Tom, and you keep calling. He will get tired and just relieve you of your duties, because it just feels like this person is not ready to blend in. So you must be able to understand what culture applies to where you are. You should not be someone that is just very rigid to, okay, but Nigerian is how we do Nigerian, all of that. You must also be someone that has mastery of remote tools. You get the Zoom, Slack, Trello, Asana. Go on Zoom or go on YouTube, even though you've not used these tools before, and just click on Trello. You will see a lot of videos, a lot of explanation videos talking about these tools and how they work, and how you can, many of them are project management tools. A lot of organizations use it. So you don't be someone and say, I don't know how to use Slack. Why won't you not know how to use Slack? Download Slack. Slack is what a lot of organizations use. So when you come into the room and they say, oh, we use Slack, have you used any form of it? Okay, yes, I have. You have. And then go on YouTube and then download it. You also must be someone that is tech savvy. You cannot even work with any global brand and not be tech savvy. So in this 2026, that should not even be a conversation right now. Then also time zone flexibility. This is many of these pointers are what will distinguish the locals from the international. You work with a national brand, and your time zone, their 8 a.m. is probably your own 2 p.m. Maybe you now work 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. and you tell them, okay, when it's 4 p.m. I need to go and carry my child from school. That's just an example. That can work. You must be ready for work regardless. So you must be someone that is highly flexible. Sometimes you will need to sacrifice or rearrange what your day looks. A lot of people in Lagos today work in the night, and that's because that is when their brands are available. So they resume work by 2 p.m. By the time you are rounding up your own work, maybe you work in VI, that's when they're just entering and logging into Zoom meeting. So you must be very flexible. Be able to manage your schedule well, be able to use time management tools. There are a lot of time management tools, your Google Calendar, be able to use even sticky notes sometimes would even help, because you are someone that's been framed with what your morning looks like, but your morning now is probably your night, would become your night if you are coming to imbibe this flexibility. Then if you're also looking at wider outreach, what your LinkedIn geo-targeting would also be able to, open to work anywhere, so that if there are vacancies anywhere in the world, what your LinkedIn look like. And I know, speaking about LinkedIn, the LinkedIn is also very important, because a lot of recruiters also go to check what your go to check what your LinkedIn. So a lot of people, they have very great CVs, but their LinkedIn page is looking like it. As funny as it sounds, nobody gave a rule that, oh, LinkedIn is a I mean, nobody sent a general newsletter that's, oh, so now everybody would check your competence on what your LinkedIn looks like. But recruiters do it. I do it. A lot of times when I'm shortlisting people, I just go to their LinkedIn page and see what it looks like. Then when your LinkedIn page is not looking like your sometimes even your CV you get is not communicating what you do. LinkedIn today, as it should be your next page, be able to communicate. Nobody, I mean, if you go on LinkedIn today, everybody talks about anything. Some people say, oh no, LinkedIn is so formal. Oh, I don't even know what to talk about. Talk about the problems you have at your work. Talk about the solution you are bringing into the business. Talk about how you are managing a project. Talk about anything and everything that talks about your work. Something that communicates. For instance, someone should be able to see your LinkedIn post and have an inkling to what you really do. So you're a product manager. You're talking about, the circle of a product going live, whatever it is. I mean, there's everything and anything. Yes, it has its guiding rule about bringing these days people even bring personal stuffs, you get, and it's very welcomed. But let your LinkedIn be appealing. Don't the last time they posted is 4 years ago, and you want to work with an international brand, your LinkedIn should be able to reflect it. It speaks to, sometimes they go through your post to have a feel of what your thought process is like. You go through what some people's LinkedIn are looking like, why are you reasoning this way? You just know this person is not a fit for the job. So that also sells you as well. Then global credibility, people don't say this a lot, but as subtle as it is, and as much as you can afford it, I always advise people to take on certifications, programs in international universities. Coursera has programs like that. A lot of this learning platforms you get partner with international institutions, you get, and they're able to, it gives you some form of credibility. Say you have a certification from this university. It's not, some people feel like, no, let me just go to the last. I'm not trying to downplay anybody, do you get? But I know that sometimes when you want to do extra, when you want to make yourself appealing, sometimes you need to step outside your comfort zone. Sometimes and sometimes many of these institutions are even partnering with, they have Nigeria affiliation, and many of them are in Naira, many of them are flexible payment plan. Some things are just edge. See, something nobody wrote it anyway. But sometimes you say that, oh, I have a degree from Sussex University in UK. It might be an online program. Who knows? But someone there, you said, okay, yeah, you sound like someone that has international exposure. But you sat in your sitting room or your father's sitting room in Lagos, Nigeria to have it. So I think I've actually gone beyond my time. Thank you very much for the time. I don't know if there are any questions, but honestly, I think that, as much as the solution EazyPly will be bringing on board, is going to be bringing is a solution, honestly, is going to solve the problem to a very large extent. Don't let us sit behind that, or because, like I mentioned, you can have a great CV, you can have a great cover letter, you can have visibility to global jobs, and you mar that whole journey on the seat of an interview. In 1 minute, there are interviews I come into within the first 1 minute. I already know I can't hire this person. Just round up. So some people come to interview, we spend 25 minutes just gisting, just enjoying the conversation. Some people come and in 1 minute, I tell you, I don't have any other question. because I will use my time talking about things that's about just waste my time with. I don't have that time. So I'll just say, oh, I don't have any question. Thank you very much. Would be in touch with you. Not be in touch with you. My team already knows that's kind of be in touch with you. And some people that 25, I already apportioned 15 minutes for this interview. 25 minutes, I'm honestly trying to just wrap up and say, let me just try to wrap up this conversation. So I mean, that's just how it is. So yes, there's a solution here, but yes, the ball is still in your court to know how to harness this tool. So harness what EazyPly. What EazyPly is bringing. Let it be like an accelerator to you landing that global job. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time. I'm grateful. Gole, I tried my best to finish in record time. Thank you very much.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much. That was an amazing session. And something you picked, something you said really stuck with me. You said that it's not just about the AI tools that you use, right? You have to first understand, because I can give you a hole, give you all the farming equipment you need, but you still wouldn't know what to do with it if you don't understand what farming practices are. And that's something we're trying to that's the gap we're trying to close with webinars like this, with trainings like this. So we're just going to give you a few minutes for questions. So if you have a question, please raise your hand up and I'll call you and we can see how many questions we can take within the time that we still have left. Ola.
Hi everyone, my name is Ola. I actually wanted to find out, amazing presentation right there. Thank you for breaking it down and explaining how to get started. But I know for a fact that a lot of Nigerian folks, a lot of young people in Nigeria today don't have a ton of work experience. Most of them are just fresh out of school or are currently serving, and I've never worked anywhere. But I want to work outside Nigeria. I want to apply to international opportunities. I'm trying to find a job within Nigeria that requires me having, 2 years experience, 3 years experience. How do I get started? How do I, highlight or point out the experiences I've had in everyday life and be able to translate it into experiences on my resume that a recruiter would see and probably want to shortlist me for an interview. So what are the steps? What do I need to do to be able to overcome that challenge? Because I see that happen every day for an average Nigerian young folk who's probably just in his final year but has never worked anywhere else. So what do we do? How do we overcome that challenge? Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Ola. Okay, so I think this question, I will answer it reactively and proactively. And that's because it is double-sided. So you could have been someone that's you're already in the shoe already. I mean, you are probably out of school and have never had any experience, any proper work experience. And I mean, the roles you're seeing are 2 years. Or you could be someone that you're probably still in school. Do you get? So that's why you need to also position yourself such that by the time you're getting to that level, you have done something to cover up the gap. Many Nigerians, I mean, volunteering in Nigeria is not something that is, there seems to be a cultural gap somewhere there. People just feel like, if I'm going to work, you need to be paying me. I cannot just work for anybody and nobody is paying me. You don't understand that what an organization pays you is keeps you in the loop, honestly. Sometimes is what you take from the organization. I'll use myself as an example. Many of the roles that I came into, managerial roles, really, were not roles that I exactly prepared for. There were roles that even in times where I did not even understand what I was doing, I was working. I had all the time. So I was just everywhere. I was just putting in. I know I said something about ownership mentality. You see, when you have the ownership mentality, you're able to accumulate a lot of experience such that by the time you are coming 2 years down the line, for instance, they're telling you, okay, what form of experience? You realize that I've had a lot of experience. But if you are someone that has been nonchalant, I've not really been very interested in putting in your best anywhere you find yourself, or you are just waiting for the day the global opportunity will come, that global opportunity will not come because you've not tried to harness what has always been in front of you. I partnered with I can't remember these people now. Sometime last year, they had a program, and what were they doing? They were paying graduates to work for companies. So it was more like a growth phase, like a career path somewhere there. So I was working as an interviewer, and I was as an interviewer and as a mentor. And I remember then one of the questions that they had even shortlisted for us was that, okay, we should ask the question on what kind of experience that they have. And many times I'm trying to push to people that there are a lot of experience. So this is now answering it reactively now, that there are a lot of experience that you have if you look and think deeply. So for instance, many of us have probably led people in the past. You had worked maybe in an informal setting. So maybe you had taught, but it wasn't exactly, maybe it was just you saw a group of children somewhere there, maybe your community, and you're like, okay, let me just always teach them. I mean, why they always, maybe it's holiday season here, and then you gather them between 10 to 2 and you teach them. That's a form of work experience. If you bring that kind of initiative to an interview to say, oh, I've not exactly had any form of work experience, but over the last 2 years, during every holiday in my community, I gather children within the ages of 10 to 15, and I teach them between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You know, these are just kept me busy while I was looking for a job. Honestly, this clearly shows that you are someone that can take initiative. You have not said that you can take initiative, but you are just communicated that you are someone that can take initiative. You are someone that obviously has leadership skills, because you understand that for you to lead children, anywhere there's a teacher, if you have children here, you understand what I'm saying. So imagine now gathering children, very voluntary. I mean, nobody's paying you for it. So it means that it could also be that, oh, you're the president of a fellowship. Anyone that understands fellowship, I mean, you gathered, you led a team of 1,000 people for an entire year, having different departments, clearly shows that you have leadership skills. These are things that you have, but somewhere there we need to sit and know how to interpret it. We need to sit and know how to communicate it strategically. So when we're talking about the work experience, you're not just saying, I was the president of RCF 2026. Nobody understands that. I led 1,000 people with whatever. I mean, AI, we even know how to, AI now, it will just help you know how to beautify and write. And then by the time AI help you rewrite that, you'll be like, guy, why you so smart? It has just helped you to communicate accurately the kind of experience that you have, and is what EazyPly would also do. Do you get? You're able to put those experiences, however it is. Oh, my mother has a store of maybe a chain of stores around Lagos. I go around those chain of stores you're still at home. So for instance, our Nigerian mothers, and I don't know if if you're Nigerian here, you understand that sometimes once you're just less busy in the house, they will find work for you. So yeah, every Monday, go around these stores and take stock. That alone is, nobody gave you an employment letter for it. But you see, you have built competence in the area of managing people, manage stock keeping, managing and a chain of stores somewhere there. So those are stuff that you would have done. You get that that you won't. So I think I've answered the questions both reactively. So if you're someone that maybe you are still in your first year, second year in school, please don't be someone that is always looking to be paid to work. Understand that there's a lot more that you can get from working than that salary. Gosh, you see what I just finished saying? I always say that I stole a lot. See, God help me in this my career life. Me, I won't know. Because I know that I stole. And this is not, about stealing. It's like, when someone gives you an opportunity to work, but you used as much as the organization will use you, use the organization as well. So I use those organizations to grow. I did not know it intentionally. These days is when I think about, I'm like, many things that I know now. I use somebody's business to learn. So don't be someone that is always about the money that they will pay you, because sometimes that money will never be enough. But know that as I'm coming to work every day, how am I growing? How am I learning? How am I able to apply my skills? How am I ensuring? Because sometimes you say, I don't want to give too much. I don't want to add too much. Don't let me be everywhere. That skill that you think that you know that you want to keep will become obsolete if you don't use it today. So where will you now use it? So the day you will now want to use it, it has become obsolete because you never use it anywhere. So don't be someone that is just gatekeeping your own skill. Be someone that is ready to give it. Give it, because it's in the place of giving that you grow. The day you stop giving is the day you will stop growing. The day you would give yourself to say, anywhere I am, I'm going to take ownership of this business. I'm going to treat it like my own. I'm going to pour myself into it. You realize that you would have a lot more experiences to tell. You won't just be someone that will just come as an account officer and live the next 5 years as a senior, as an account officer. But you must be someone that has gone through different departments. You've gone from one subsidiary and they move this and that subsidiary. You've done HR here, done operations there. By the time you are leaving, you realize, no more. I use this organization to grow. So I think that's just how I'm going to answer the question. Thank you very much, sir.
Appreciate the response. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're taking Daniel Adelege. Daniel, your hand is up.
Yes, ma'am. I am here, ma'am. I have a
Your
question, ma'am.
question.
You can go ahead, please.
All right. Okay, my question is, what is 8 years? I've been seeing 8 years. Yes, I've been seeing 8 years. I've been seeing 8 years for CV, but I don't know what it really is. Apart from the fact that you mentioned it this evening in this class, and also, what is the difference between a portfolio and a CV? Because I'm a brand designer. I work for food brand startups, and so sometimes some of them do ask for CV, some ask for portfolio. So what's the difference between both, and what is an 8 years?
Okay, so I'm just going to start from 8 years basically. So an 8 years basically aligns your CV in a presentable format. When you see an 8 years approved CV and one that is not approved, the one that is not approved may have, when you look at it at the end of the day, you might be saying the same thing, but may not be communicated the same way, may not be communicated professionally. So what an 8 years does is that an 8 years approved an 8 years approved CV, it has proper heading. You'll see that the kind of first of all, the job description, what exactly the recruiter is looking for, it adopts that job description to creating maybe the professional summary. And 8 years also ensures that when you now come to your work experience, you're not just talking about I designed, so for instance, you're a product designer here. I designed 16 graphics daily for the business. That's not my business. I want to know how relevant your designs were in achieving the results that the business really wanted. So it's not just talking about because when you see some people's work experience, they just talk about what they did on the job. What were your results on that job? So it means that don't just be someone that sat on the chair and you cannot quantify, numerically what your results will be on the job. So for instance, you're a sales manager. How did you improve sales? Don't just say I manage the sales team, I ensure the goal for the team were met. That is not an 8 years tracker, and an 8 years certified CV won't be aligned that way. What 8 years will do is that they tell you by how many percentage. So we're talking about results, measurable results. So, and it says there are a whole lot of differences basically. With EazyPly, don't worry, you can go to sleep, honestly. You can go to sleep, but when it comes out, you must be able to say that it is, communicating what you really expect. Then for you that you're also a graphic designer, you're talking about a portfolio. So now a portfolio is not we don't ask portfolio for someone like you. Your CV shouldn't be sent without your portfolio. because your job is visually. So for instance, you're a video editor, it's not English you want to come out. So even though your CV is ATS compliant, that just suits English. Let me see what your videos are like. So your portfolio is a accumulation of everything that you have done so far. It shows representation of your skill. So so when we say, oh, we need a senior graphic designer, and you send in your portfolio, from your portfolio I can tell, are you an entry level, I can tell if you're a junior level, I can tell if you're a senior level. So your portfolio just shows a representation of what your skills are like. So I think I've answered your question.
Sorry, I'd like to add to what our presenter has said. The portfolio for certain skill sets is just a graphical representation of what you have done, just like what the MC just mentioned. If you're a teacher, you don't need a portfolio. But if your career skills, your career path is visually oriented, you're a web designer, you're a graphic designer, whatever, you're a video editor, if it's visually oriented, then you definitely would need a portfolio to complement your resume. For every other person, your resume is pretty much more important. If you're a doctor, you don't need a portfolio. If you're an accountant, you don't need a portfolio. But if whatever you do as an individual is skill-based, is visually represented, or you can represent it visually, then you definitely would need a portfolio. For an ATS, it's an applicant tracking system. It's a tool, it's a software that is built by companies to shortlist candidates. So if I post a job today, MC is a recruiter. Her job pretty much is to work with applicants or candidates to land in that role. But the company, if I'm the founder of the company, I know that 10,000 people are going to be applying to that position. The MC is not able to attend to 10,000 people. That ATS system is built to typically just shortlist or remove people from that pool, that talent pool. So when we are building or setting up that applicant tracking system, we're putting certain keywords that we want to see that our applicants have. So if you're a graphic designer, and our role, we need somebody who knows how to use CorelDRAW. I don't know if that's what people use today, but I need someone who knows how to use CorelDRAW. I probably will put that keyword in my ATS system. So if anybody that is applying does not have CorelDRAW written in their resume, you are out. If you are a video editor and I'm looking for somebody who has maybe, I don't know the current tool that people are using today, you don't have, maybe you're you're a web developer and you don't know how to use Cloud Cowork. And what we want to do is tailored to that particular tool. I will put that keyword in my ATS. Anybody that applies to that position, that role, and the ATS will be looking, it will scan through your resume to find those keywords that I have input in my own ATS on the back end. And if I have 20 keywords in my ATS, but your resume already has 5, and somebody else has 19, you see that it's going to pick that person first before you. So if I'm looking at hiring just 20 people, but 1,000 people apply to that position, it's going to look for the people who has more keywords on their resume, and that would allow them to pass that ATS system. That's why we always say that when you're applying for a job, EMC mentioned something at the beginning of our conversation, that you cannot use the same CV for multiple jobs, because you have to tailor it to each of those job descriptions that each of the jobs is requiring. When you do that, you are likely going to be able to pass the ATS and get shortlisted for the first interview. So pretty much that's what the ATS applicant tracking system means. It's just a tool, an ordinary tool, a software that is built. Some companies subscribe to it. Some companies have internally built that tool specifically for themselves. But when it's built, it's people like EMC that would now take up, the next step once it's shortlisted to say, okay, so we need just 2 people or 5 people, applicants for this job, but 2,000 people applied. EMC now takes those 5 people and looks at other things besides those keywords that is done on the ATS. Thanks.
Thank you very much
Thank you
for
so much.
answering the questions. I really appreciate. Also the ATS, is it the ATS, the African Tracking System, software? Like, where can someone, like, okay, it's usually used by company, but can we also use it for ourselves, like personally?
You can use it personally as an individual, but there are tools like EazyPly, what we're pretty much talking about today, that you can pass your resume through it, and then it automatically rewrites your resume to fit each job description that you're applying to. So if you're applying to a job tomorrow and then you submit your resume, the EazyPly tool takes that resume of yours and takes the job description of that job that you're trying to apply to, and then it rewrites your current resume to fit that job description so that you are able to go through the applicant tracking system. We'll go through a walkthrough session once we're done with this, this question and answer session. But I would advise that we allow other people ask questions. And if you're part of the group, please join the group. There's definitely going to be opportunities to ask all of these questions, and somebody else will be there to give you answers.
Thank you so much, sir. The next person, please let's keep our questions precise so that Mrs. Yemisi can answer, and we're not keeping everybody here for too long. A Olu, please, you can ask your question.
Good evening. Thank you so much. Should I say Yemisi and every other person for putting together this meeting. Yes, I mean, I've really learned a lot in a short time. So my question now is, recently, due to technology, tech, and AI, so I realized that when you apply for jobs outside the country, most companies, even most recruitment companies, now use AI as an interviewer. So the main challenge for me now is, even after you've had your one-on-one interview with AI, then you now have the other aspect that has to do with the practical
Evaluation.
yes. So it's quite challenging, because sometimes I realize that what you think you know is different from how they know it and how they see it. Sometimes, so once after you answer the questions and you feel like, oh, I think I've done something, and then you just get the response like, we're sorry, we could not pass it, and you feel like I felt like I actually aced this interview, and so sometimes you really don't know what is. I don't know what advice you think you can actually give, because you don't know sometimes if it's the CV, and one recently they sent me the result actually, but I really do not understand what they are telling me exactly that happens to be my weaknesses at the time they put everything together. So how do you think one can actually, scale through this? I don't know. Is this still the CV that is the issue, or I don't know, or do we have to, possibly get someone that's actually been in the system to be able to take one through how to go through this in order for you to qualify?
So your question is, there's no precise answer to it, because I've not been with you in any interview before. I've not been in the company to know what the expectation is. I've not seen what your CV is. So it could be a combination of many things. But I don't know if you have tried to, even after they send you the unfortunate email. Unfortunately, we can't. We try to respond to thank them for their response and request for where exactly or why you weren't chosen. If you've not been doing that, I think it would be good to ask. You get so that you have insight and you're able to learn forward. I think that's just the best I can say. You can take out tips from what I've said today. Go on EazyPly after the demo, download the EazyPly, look at how you can optimize what your CV is like, do all of that you get. But for every response that you get as well. So from this session, you can learn forward and improve what your CV looks like, improve what your cover letter looks like, improve what your interview experience looks like. But then even after that, you can also request for feedback because every interview is unique to itself. Every organization is unique. Every organization knows what exactly they're looking for. So nobody externally can tell you the reason why. They alone can do that. So I would say you just always respond to them to give a feedback. You appreciate their feedback, but you'd like to know why you weren't chosen. Where do they think that you missed the point or something? So I think that's one way.
Is it okay if we ask Mrs. Zemisi here for maybe an extra time on the group chats so that we're actually working with time? I see a lot of questions on here.
Yeah.
I think it would be, there's a lot of factors to, your question that you just asked now, Aolu, that there has to be some background interrogation to figure out what's going on. There's not one size fits all answer. So we'll beg Mrs. EMC to join us on the group chats so that we can really, really break down and demystify factors that can actually lead to, what you're currently experiencing. Because I'm very sure that you're not the only person who's actually experiencing that kind of situation. There are a lot of people too that you go through 4 stages of interviews, 5 stages of interview, thinking that you are actually the right person for the job. And then, like she said, the unfortunate email comes through where we're sorry, we're moved on with another candidate. There are a lot of reasons why that could be a problem. But please join the community. We would actually, I think she has agreed that she will join us for some extra time. Maybe next week, we can drop all the questions there, and then we can, further have, better conversation. Because I think it's not something that you can actually resolve in 1 minute or 2. You have to really dig through the dirt to find out what the real problem is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll be glad to do that. So thank you, Olu, for your question. But sometimes the problem may not even be you. I've seen many things happen back end. Did you get so? But like Mr. Ola said, a lot of interpretation needs to be done to understand what exactly cause many factors. So yes, we'll stay on the group and be able to examine it properly.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Olalekon. Okay, we'll see on WhatsApp. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So for everybody else that has their hands up, unfortunately, we cannot be able to take your questions at this time. But if you check the chat box, you'll see that our community manager has added the link to the group. Just join the group. We'll put out a form where you can ask your questions. Then when we have Miss Yemisi later, she can now answer your questions one by one so that we can better understand what is going on. So you can bring your hands down. So
okay,
we spent the last.
Hello, hi, good evening. Sorry for interrupting. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Sorry,
you.
can we go forward with the next thing, please? We don't want to,
It's not
we don't want to break the program arrangements. Once we are done with the entire thing, if we have extra time, I think we have about 13 more minutes. Once we have extra time, we'll be able to take additional questions. But there is a walkthrough session that we need to do now, so we don't deprive people of the opportunity of seeing the tool. Tina,
Sure,
please,
sure.
we can take your question after the walkthrough. Thanks.
Sure, it's not a question, Mr. Yakini. This is gifts coded. I just joined to just help. So regardless of how you guys want to help, yeah, I just want to help be part of what we are doing here and also help. There are a lot of questions I see being asked here. I can actually
Yeah,
help.
can we take that gift
Yeah, we'll get
after?
to
Can we
that
take that
after the
after?
session.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we spent the past hour and looking at what to do, right, to make applications more strategic. But now I want to show you how you can actually put the solutions, everything that Ms. Emisi has talked about here. How do you actually get your CV optimized ATS standard? How do you write cover letters? These questions and all. So we're going to be calling on our front-end developer. The development team will be coming up for the next 10 minutes to walk us through the EazyPly app so that we can see how this actually serves as a solution to your problem as a job seeker. So because on Dolapo, please, when you're ready, you can take us through the app.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Dolapo. I'm the front-end developer that built this amazing app. Okay, let me show you the amazing app that I'm talking about. Okay, so firstly, I'm going to start with a question. This question is actually for everyone here. What's the maximum number of jobs you have applied to and how many actually replied you? I'd like to get answers from as much answers that I can get, please. You can just drop into the chat. Gole, please, can you please read out the answers?
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
So I said, I'm asking everyone on here that what's the maximum job you have applied to and how many actually replied you?
Okay.
So please,
You
anyone
can
that...
leave our answers in the chat box. One person said none.
None. Okay. So not just waste our time. Okay, the truth is, a lot of people are applying to 50 to 100 jobs, even more, and they're still not hearing nothing back. So let me paint the real situation of what is happening in Nigeria right now. Okay, so for most people applying to proper jobs, I'm not talking about just survival works, I mean proper jobs. It takes between 50 to over 200 applications to get just one job, just one. Now, for a fresh graduate, it can go as 80 to 200 applications. And for mid-level professional roles, it can go, let's say, 40 to 120. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is that for every fresh graduate here, you'd have to apply to over 200 jobs to get a single job. Now, I'm not talking about Nepo babies. I'm talking about average Nigerians that has zero connections. Now, how many people can actually apply to this amount of jobs? I'm not just talking about clicking apply. I'm talking about filling forms, uploading CVs, writing cover letters, and repeating that process over and over again. And some of us here actually have surviving jobs already. Now think of a situation where you go to that your job and you get back, you are so tired. Is that where you want to start applying to these jobs to land this single job? And it doesn't even end here. Most people spend 3 to 6 months searching for jobs before they actually land something. So you see that the problem is not that people are not trying. The problem is that the system is stacked against them. So there are 3 main reasons why people struggle to land jobs. The number one reason is that your CV is not properly structured to what recruiters want. The second is you're applying to each job one after the other. The third is you are not properly prepared for interviews. So even when the opportunities come, you miss it. So now my question now becomes, what if you could actually apply to 50 to 100 jobs without going through that stress that I mentioned? Now, this is where EazyPly comes in for you. So let me start with your resume. So based off what EMC said before, most people don't even know that there is a system called ATS that first reads your resume before humans even sees it. So if your resume is not properly structured, it gets filtered out even before you are even seen. So this means you can actually be well qualified, but because you are not qualified on paper, you don't even stand a chance. So let's do something real quick. I'll show you an original CV, and then we'll optimize it together and see what that looks like. So I want everyone to actually take a look at this CV properly. Let me zoom in and you guys should see it. Because I'll be asking you to tell me the difference between this and the one that I'm going to show in a few minutes. So just, can everyone see it? Just a quick look.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so let's optimize this CV. Okay, so it prompts us to select a style. Let's choose Galaxy. So the system is building the resume. Okay, so let's look at what it looks like. Now, who can tell me the difference between this CV and the one that I showed before? The person with a response gets 1,000 naira a time.
Okay, Okimasi, you can answer.
All right, the first one there wasn't I think a summary and a heading. I don't know if you can zoom it a bit. There was no
Thank
summary the first one,
Okay, yes.
but this
You're
one
actually,
has a summary.
you're actually very right. Thank you very much for that. Anyone else? Okay, let's just continue. Okay. I did not see that one was now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it summarized it, then it highlighted the skills.
Thank you very much. Now, this little difference, as small as it might be, is what determines if you get rejected or you get shortlisted. Now, what we do at EazyPly is let me save the cover letter, the resume. What we do at EazyPly is we improve your resume by optimizing keywords to actually match those keywords that ATS is actually looking for. Like EMC explained before, is what we optimize your CV to actually have. And we also align it to fix formatting issues that the system might see and just ignore you. So instead of being ignored, you're actually seen. Let's move to the cover letter. Now, for cover letters, I don't know. Most people think, let me just skip cover letters, that it doesn't matter. Or some people just copy and paste something that they see, that they saw somewhere. You get. And in this competitive market that I'm talking about, this is like a very big disadvantage for you. Like a very big one. Now, what we do at EazyPly for you is that we generate a tailored cover letter that matches the job description and highlights your strengths and still sounds professional at that. Yes, so once the CV is generated for you, it is sent to each application together with your optimized CV. So you're not just guessing, you're submitting with confidence. And we have a screen where you can actually look at what your cover letter looks like. And this is that screen. Now let's talk about the interview prep. Now, I want everyone here to understand something. There's a difference between landing an interview and actually passing that interview. Now, at EazyPly, what we do for is that we built a structured interview prep. And this interview prep, okay, let's start an interview prep so you see what I'm talking about. This interview prep is grouped into 4 stages. Let's start one. And these 4 stages are actually equipped with real questions and smart answers. So you're not just thinking on the spot. You're ready when the recruiters are actually interviewing you. You get. And now, another thing is, we are not actually claiming to know. Okay, let me show you the 4 stages that I'm talking about. So we have the recruiter screening, the hiring manager round, the team interview, and the director round. Now, for this interview prep, we are not claiming to know what your recruiter is going to ask you. We're not claiming to do that, but this is just to prepare you for what is to come. Like I think someone mentioned during those questions that you felt like you did well during the interview. It's by probably just mean that you probably did not answer some questions the right way. You get, so this interview prep is meant to prepare you for what is to come. So let's move to the start of the show, which is the batch apply. Now, here's another major problem. Now think of this. If it takes you 100 to 200 applications to get just one job, and you're applying one by one, how long do you think it is going to take you? Weeks or even months? Now, this is where EazyPly changed everything. So instead of applying to each job one after the other, you can simply just click a job, click another. That's the third one. Then the fourth one. I know you have to just do is click apply, and it prompts you to look at the jobs that you want to apply to, and you click submit. And that's it. You just apply to 4 jobs with just the click of a button. Remember, each application has small chances. So the more quality application you send, the higher your probability of getting a response. And this is what EazyPly is actually offering. So instead of your weak CV, your slow application, and your poor interview prep, you now have optimized CV, which is quality, batch apply, which is the speed, and the interview prep, which is your confidence. Now, these 3 combined is what EazyPly is offering you to improve your chances of getting a better job. So thank you guys for your time, and we're available for any questions that you might have. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you so much for that question. So for a lack of time, we're going to take in just 2-3 questions and we'll move on to the next session. The first person I see is Okimasi. Please ask your question.
Good evening, Joe. Thank you for the session. It's very impactful. So my question is kind of simple. The app, the EazyPly, can I install it from App Store? And how's like the navigation? Like, are we subscribing or anything, or is it totally free?
Uh, Good evening. So to answer your question, currently only available on Play Store, which is for Android, but very soon it's going to be available for App Store, which is for Apple devices. And yeah, we have different plans. There's a freemium. I'm sure we're still going to get to that. But for your question, we have freemium, so you have limited access to some features. We have the gold, and then we have the premium. So, but when we get to the subscription segment, you're going to see the full details of everything.
Okay, Gift.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much for the session so far. It's been very enlightening. Now, my question is, from the onset of these sessions we've had so far, it's been tilted towards business and yeah. Okay, I'm sure it cuts across every other uh, segment or endeavor. What I like to know is this app now. Is it open to, let's say, in healthcare, for instance, and one is looking not within, you're looking outside internationally, and you have a barrage of ends to supply, putting your CVs and all of that. Does this app cover those? And what I mean is, probably you want to apply, let's say, to UK, to New Zealand, or to US in the healthcare sector, and you will need to ensure your CV is speaking directly with the job descriptions and personal specification and all of that. Does this app have all the tool to be able to accommodate such environment? That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Hi, Gifts. Yeah, thanks for the question. So, of course, it cut across all industries. So during the onboarding session, there are some questions that we asked. So you put in your job title, the country you're looking at working. So once
Okay.
you fill up all those details, the app can suggest recommended jobs for you. So and
Oh,
once you apply, our AI is going to tailor your resume towards those jobs.
it's okay. Okay, but I will have to also maybe upload my original CV for this app to now work on or work at.
Exactly. So we require your original resume. So once you upload it, you can now optimize it.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much. So we're taking the last question from Akinola Antonia.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for the team behind this for this wonderful session. Okay, so my question is that I noticed when Delapo was applying to those job applications, I didn't see when um I didn't see when he tailored the cover letters to those job applications. I saw when he sent it at once, like he sent both the cover letter and the CV to those sites. I mean, for those job applications rather at once, but I didn't see when he tailored it for them. So that's my question. Where does this come in? Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Akiola. So your question, so everything is done behind the scenes. So because it's a batch apply tool, you can't possibly see how it is doing it for, if you're applying for 20 jobs, you can't possibly see how it is going on. So, but from the back end, we are actually tailoring every um resume to the job description and also the cover letter. So it just sends it out with just one click. So you don't have to worry about having multiple clicks. So because that's like the main aim of the app, to reduce your number of clicks and just get on with your day.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, to add to what she said, I actually wanted to ask that question. What for me, as much as I appreciate the app, it would be nice before it's sent that I see a review or overview of what I'm sending. Yes, I believe that the app has been well thought after, it's been well designed to meet global standard. But let's say a cover letter or the CV and all of those things, as much as going to come up with the action words, the right prompt and all of that. Before one presses the button for you to now send as much as you want to send, isn't it good for one to have a window or a view to like, okay, let me even see how it look like. Not actually going back to redo anything, but to just send it like that. I don't know. I'm just asking.
So on the onboarding, you have the opportunity to view the optimized resume and also the cover letter. So we are showing you the structure of how it's going to look like. So that's
Okay.
how it's going to change. But the only thing that changes when we're sending it out is the name of the company, the job description. So, but you have like the structure already in place, so you can go over it in your profile, edit it as much as you like before applying to jobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tosin. So the implication of what he's saying is there are templates where you get to choose from, a lineup of templates. Once you choose, it brings out the structure of what your cover letter is going to look like. And you are able to see fields on that template that will change. So certain fields will change, like the name of the hiring manager that you're sending to. So if Mrs. CMC is working with Coca-Cola and then you're applying to Coca-Cola, and Tosin is working with Pepsi and you're applying to Coca-Cola and Pepsi at the same time, just batch applying, those names, those fields, some of those fields are editable, they will change. You can see on there that those fields, you don't have to enter anything there. It's going to change. The date, the time, the job descriptions would change because they're not, depending on the job that you're applying to, it changes. What Coca-Cola will probably request for will be different from what Pepsi is asking for. And those fields will change. But you can see that when you're onboarding on the app. But because you're batch applying to 20 jobs, 30 jobs, it's very difficult for you to be able to see that. It's an app. It's, you can only have as many windows as possible or as many tabs as possible on the app. So it's going to show you that when you are onboarding. But all of those dynamics that will be changing would happen on the back end once you click submit. It's like you're applying on LinkedIn or you're applying on Monster. There are certain fields that you have to fill. You have to manually populate. The AI will do all of those on the back end for you. You don't have to see what's going on there. But you can be rest assured that it's populating all of those fields. If it fails, it would tell you that. So if you're applying to 20 jobs and one of them fails, it will tell you that submitted 19 and one failed. And then you can click on that one to find out what happened.
Okay.
You understand? So it's actually doing all of the work on the back end, but you can only have as many screens as possible to be able to reduce your work, your manual effort in doing all of that as well. Thank you. So we'll only take Grace for the last person, and then we'll move on to the next person. The next thing.
Good evening, everyone. So my question is actually very simple. When the person that was working on the resume was doing that, I noticed that the role that was listed or that was stated there was just one particular role. Does it mean the resume generation or something does not give room for any other role in case you've done other stuff before? Because I noticed it was just one work experience that was showing on there.
So yeah, that's his own personal resume. So that means he has only one work experience. So the AI will not fabricate work experiences for you. It's just going to optimize what you already have. Do you understand?
But it is editable, so you're able to manually impute additional rows if you want. Does that answer your
Okay,
question?
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Those are all the questions we're taking regarding the app walkthrough. And thank you so much, Tosin. Thank you so much, Solapo, for taking out the time to show us the app and answer our questions. And at this point, one question is on everybody's mind, and we've all voiced at some point. What does it cost for you to get started with EazyPly? You've already seen the features, you understand the benefits, you know what you're going to stand to gain from using this app, right? So one thing that we're very intentional about when we're building this app was accessibility. Wanting to make sure that it works for you no matter what stage you are in your job application journey. So we created flexible plans. We have 3 subscription plans currently on the app. We have the freemium plan, which costs 0 naira, 0 kobo, but it's a bit limited, right? Because this is just the plan to help you get started, for you to dip your feet in the water and just test it out, right? Here you can batch apply to 5 jobs a day. You can optimize your resume, 1 resume optimization every month, and then 1 standard access to your resume templates. That's what you get on the free plan. But then if you want a more advanced feature, you can use the premium plan. The premium plan is for the premium The gold plan, sorry, is for more advanced features, right? With the gold plan, you get to batch apply to 15 jobs a day. You have unlimited access to resume optimization. You can access every template we have regarding resumes, and you can generate your cover letters for as long as you want to. And that only costs you 7,999 naira. Then we have the premium plan, which is for users who want the full experience of the app. Here you can apply to 30 jobs a day, unlimited access to your resume optimization, all the templates of the resume available to you, unlimited generation to cover letters. You can download every resume that we generate for you, and you get access to interview prep, right? And this costs 9,999 naira. But the exciting part is that for every single one of you who is on this webinar today and who has joined our waitlist, you'll be getting the 10% off of your first subscription, right? So we need you to make sure that even though you register for this webinar, if you want to claim your discount, you are also signed up to our waitlist so that we have your details and know that, yes, this person qualifies for the 10% discount we're offering our community members, right? So our community member will drop in the waitlist link in the chat box so that we can easily sign up. It takes a minute maximum to sign up to the waitlist. Fatima, please, you can drop the waitlist link in the chat box. Yes, so it's on the chat box now. So just give like a minute. Please go and make sure you sign up to the wait list so that you can get access to your 10% discount. Because if you're not on the wait list and you come to claim your 10% discount, we will not know who you are. It's for the data that we have on this wait list that we are able to give out the discount to the qualified applicants. So now, beyond just helping you apply for jobs faster, one thing we keep asking ourselves here at EazyPly is how else can we support job seekers, right? Because there is a very huge gap in unemployment in Nigeria. And we don't just want to give you the tool, like Ms. Yemisi said. It's not about giving you the AI-powered tool. No, we want to make sure that if we give you this tool, how are you going to use it to make the best out of it? Because it's pretty useless to you if you don't know what you are doing, right? And that's how the idea of our Easy community came about. We're creating a space where you can access greater opportunities, trainings like this, and ongoing support. And to tell you more about this, we're going to bring on our community manager for like a few minutes, maximum 2-3 minutes, just to give you more information about the Easy community and what you stand to gain by joining and being a part of this community. I will give the mic over to Fatima now to quickly tell us about the community.
Okay, thank you so much, Golie. Good evening, everyone. My name is Fatima. I'm the community manager for EazyPly, and thank you so much for joining in. So, we all know that having information is one thing, which is why we're here. But, knowing how to actually use the information, staying consistent, and having the right support system is another thing that really makes the difference. And that's why we've created the Easy community. The Easy community is a space where we can continue to support you beyond just the webinar today. So inside this community, you have access to job opportunities, and then we'll be sharing from time to time helpful resources that support your growth journey. You also have access to ongoing support that never ends. So if you're ever confused or you're stuck or you're unsure about your next step, you're certain that you're not figuring it out alone, we're going to be there with you all through. So this community is basically a space for people who are serious about changing their current employment situation. And like we've said, at EazyPly, our mission is quite simple. We want to reduce the unemployment gap and make it easier for you to access and secure these jobs. And to do that, we don't just want to give you the tool. We want to work with you and show you how to use them. So this community is for people who are really intentional about their growth this year, people who are ready to take action and use the opportunities shared from time to time and actually move forward. So after this webinar, we'll be moving everyone into the community. I think some of us are already in the WhatsApp group and some are already joining in as well. So it's going to be hosted on WhatsApp.
because WhatsApp is quite simple, accessible, and easy for everyone to stay connected. So once again, I would like to say thank you so much to everyone for showing up today, for listening, and for engaging. We're really excited about this. We're excited about what is ahead, and we love to have you go with us. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you so much. That was our community manager, Fatima. If you registered for the webinar, you probably have been seeing her a lot over the past few weeks. I am loving the reaction. I'm happy that we're still here, and it's clear that we're still very interested in what we're trying to build. And I must commend every single one of us for choosing to be here on a Saturday night. So as we wrap up, as we're trying to wrap up the session, we saved the best for last, right? So beyond the community, beyond the job application tool, we're trying to build a system that allows you to earn while you're navigating your job search. And I know you're wondering, Goli, how am I going to be earning money while I'm trying to make money, right? And to share more about this, we're having our founder, Dr. Ola, come on to share more details about the EazyPly agent. Dr. Ola, we'll hand the mic over to you.
Thank you so much, Golie. Thanks to everyone who has been a part of this event today. Mrs. Yemisi, thank you so much for that amazing session. Awesome questions that people have been asking. Shows that we are actually on the right track to providing the right resource and solutions to a lot of us. I've actually been in that position myself, thinking about what do I do now, having applied to hundreds of jobs or tens of jobs, and I keep getting rejected, or I keep getting looked over, and I don't know what next to do. For a lot of us, finding the next role or looking for our next role feels like work itself, because we're actually putting a lot of resource, a lot of time, a lot of effort into landing that next job. And so we started thinking as a team, so how do we help each other? How do I help you? Not just keep focusing all your energy on trying to find jobs. It's a crazy world out there today. Tons of people are losing their means of livelihood. Tons of people are out of work. And so it's a very competitive space. And so we started thinking, how do we provide an edge to ourselves? How do we provide an edge to you, so you can leverage better to be able to find that next position? And that's why we built EazyPly. But on the other hand, we started thinking, while you're out of work or you're looking for the next position, we need you to also keep earning on the side. And that's why we built the EazyPly agent. The EazyPly agent is a different platform, but still very, very close to EazyPly itself, that allows you as an individual to earn while you're looking for a job. So you're not just, you can take care of, your current needs while you're looking for, your next role. So as an EazyPly agent, what happens is all we just need you to do is to keep sharing and keep talking about the app. And then you have to register as an agent though, and then you get 30% of, commission fee of whoever subscribes. So I see Grace on here. Grace Temitayo recommends Gifts and Tusi and Golie, and they all subscribe to like the premium plan. She gets 30% of whatever they pay as subscription fee, and this way you're able to 10,000. 30% of 10,000 is 3,000, and if she recommends 10 people, she's made 30,000. If she's recommended 100 people, she's made 300,000 just by recommending people. So we wanted to keep, you are able to actually subscribe first, see, the beauty of the app, poke holes into it. We're also here to take feedback and keep improving. We're not just building the solution and just going to leave it there. Our plan is to keep improving until it gets to the best, place that we want it to be, in such a way that everyone can find the tool very useful. Our joy is to see people actually land jobs, or land interviews using this app as well. But in the meantime, you can go ahead, share it on Instagram, share it on TikTok, share it on all your social media platforms, and just register as an EazyPly agent to continue to earn from this solution. I want to use this opportunity again to thank everyone who has been a part of this event. Like Golie mentioned, and Fatima, this is going to be reoccurring. We're going to be doing this on the community. So please, it's just going to take you a second to join that community as well. You have questions, you're going through a challenge when it comes to interviews, you don't know what next to do. We promise to have experts like, Mrs. EMC join us on there that would help us decipher and make, the process very easy while you're using the app as well. So please endeavor to join the community. I don't know if there's any question about everything that we've talked about today or the EazyPly agent. We can take one or two questions before we round off the call. Fantastic. Sounds like we all understand what we're saying. We are yet to launch the app. The app is going to go live. It's actually on Google Play Store today. We're still waiting for approvals with Apple, and then we'll do a launch party when we're ready to launch towards the end of the month. We'll also send out invitations to people to join us at the party. There's going to be a lot of freebies. There's going to be a lot of discounts for everyone who joins that party as we prepare to make the process very easy for people to land in their first role or their next role. Thank you again so much. Golia has been an amazing host today. Thank you so much, everyone who has been a part and parcel of this event today. We appreciate your time. I mean, we wanted an hour and a half, but we're already close to 2 hours. Thank you so much. And Mrs. MEC, big ups to you for that amazing presentation. Thanks for helping to decipher the challenges and the opportunities, as a person of your own caliber, helping people to finding jobs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Someone said they have installed the app. Amazing. So if you're using an Android device, please go ahead and download it, and we'll be glad to get feedback from you. Join the community, drop your feedback on there. We definitely will be looking forward to hearing from you. And then we'll round off the call in 3, 2, 1. Thanks, everyone. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Bye for now.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Thank you, Dr. Ola. Thank you, Miss Yemisi. A lot has been cooked on this call. I'm sure we all ate well. So please, please, please do not forget to sign up to the waitlist to get your discount. Don't forget to join the community. If you're not in any of these two places, we don't know you, you don't know us. So please make sure that you help us continue to help you. Please, please, please make sure you join this groups. For the logo, please join the community. You see the logo. That's what is on our bio, on our profile photo. So thank you so much, everybody. Have an amazing night. Good night, everybody. Please don't forget to leave your reviews in the group. We want those that did not come, we want them to feel that they missed out something today. So please make sure you leave your reviews of this session, your feedback, what you love the most. We cannot wait to hear from all of you. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you.